We have great support from our community. So people are hosting and having their weddings here, their class reunions, their graduations, family get-togethers. Last night we had trivia. So we partnered with the Rock County Community Library. We have some magnificent librarians there, and they do a monthly trivia for us.
And I know you can't, then you can come to 2 trivia nights in a row.
I love the people that come through the door. So I like to hear their stories, what they have to share, what brought them to our community, what they've discovered in our community. That's a lot of fun to hear those stories. What's fun about everyone coming in is they all have a different story. So it's fun to hear those different stories of why people are coming into the brewery. People that are even in the community have their own story for wanting to come in and support the brewery. And people are traveling for a destination, for an adventure, to come and check out Take 16 Brewing Company.
I started working a little over 5 years ago. We just celebrated our 5-year anniversary. We had a big party out in our parking lot. We had inflatables and axe throwing and live music all day. It was awesome. I started a small brewery when I was going to college, and I was contacted by Take 16 to get information about how to start a brewery. And then shortly after that, I decided to join Take 16 as their brewer. The process of making beer is very creative. We take raw agricultural ingredients and make them into a delicious beverage for people to enjoy. It takes a lot of practice. It's part art, part science, and it's a lot of fun. Cheers. So I'm a very creative person, so that's like the best part of my job is being creative. So I love coming up with new recipes and sampling it out to people and seeing if they like it. I love that aspect of making beer, but also making beer is a lot about consistency. So you have to take these ingredients, these agricultural ingredients that change all the time, and try to make the same beer. So the reason we do this is we are, that grid, those lines I was talking about, it's a grid, and inside the grid we're going to count cells. So actual individual yeast cells inside that grid, and then multiply it up by the amount of volume that we took. And basically I'm trying to figure out how many pounds of yeast I need to add to a batch, because we want it to be consistent. If you add too less or too much, the beer is going to change wildly. One of my favorite beers we make is called Nostalgia. It's a sour red ale that's aged in barrels. Very, very tart. And it is made with a mixed culture, meaning instead of just yeast fermenting the beverage, there's lots of organisms working on it. It's very pleasant to drink and very delicious.
I'm Dan Dobson. I'm one of the co-founders of the Take 16 Brewing here in Luverne. We came up with this idea as a way to be a destination for Luverne with a group of people in the community, and over time we kind of just had more and more interest in the idea of this coming to reality.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, that is. That's delicious.
Well, I think the whole idea too was where we decided to make this a community business, not just 4 or 5 business people getting together, where we invited the community to become part of this whole concept of being owners of a brewery and them taking stock in it. So I think that's a good part. That really is. It sets us apart from a lot of the other craft beer companies around the country. I think it's given us one more shining aspect of Luverne, Minnesota, what it has to offer. We wanted it to be a destination, just to give people another reason for them to maybe jump off of the interstate and explore this little community and what the assets are that we have here in this community, and to kind of highlight that this kind of business can exist in a small rural community. It doesn't have to be in a metro area where you would find a quality craft beer available. I love telling the story of how this came about and the people's reaction when they actually get to taste the product. They go, it's really good. Luke is an awesome brewer, and he has some wonderful profile beer recipes, and it is exciting to have people taste it and say, this is good quality craft beer.
Postcards is made possible by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund and the citizens of Minnesota. Additional support provided by Margaret A. Cargill Philanthropies, Mark and Margaret Yakel-Julien on behalf of Shalom Hill Farms, a retreat and conference center in a prairie setting near Windham, Minnesota. On the web at shalomhillfarm.org. Alexandria, Minnesota, a year-round destination with hundreds of lakes, trails, and attractions for memorable vacations and events. More information at explorealex.com. The Lake Region Arts Council's Arts Calendar, an arts and cultural heritage funded digital calendar showcasing upcoming art events and opportunities for artists in West Central Minnesota. On the web at lrac4calendar.org. Playing today's new music plus your favorite hits, 96.7 Cram. Online at 967cram.com.